Do you believe online games can make people survive? Hi everybody, back again with me Eltra in Eltra Story. This time I will tell a story, how millions of Venezuelans can survive life from online games. When the country was in an economic crisis, due to very high inflation. Not only that, with the presence of players from Venezuelans, they are also considered to be damaging the economy in the game. Initially, Venezuela was a prosperous country. But since 2010, the country's economy is deteriorating. Millions of Venezuelans are trying to escape to get out of Venezuela. But unfortunately, 90% of its citizens cannot escape, and they are forced to live in poverty. As an illustration, the average minimum wage there is around $5 per month. This encourages people to be creative. They try to find a way to survive in difficult conditions. One of them is through an old online game, called Old School RuneScape. Curious about the full story? Come on, let's listen to each other's stories. Before you start, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on the bell too, so that this channel can continue to provide benefits. Thank you. Old School RuneScape is an old online game launched in 2013. But actually this game is a re-release of the RuneScape version in 2004. And played by millions of people in the world. If you've never heard of this game, it's only natural because this game is mostly played by old Force gamers. Something strange has happened in the past few years. All of a sudden, many new players appear in Old School RuneScape. Strangely again, the new player has the same behavior. They play for hours and do the same activities over and over. For example, killing the green dragon over and over again, and collect the gold in the online game world. This activity is usually referred to as gold farming. So this is an activity where a person plays a game with the aim of getting gold, or coins, or any item in the game, then will be exchanged for real money in the real world. Of course this activity is against the rules in many online games. But it happens all the time, and Old School RuneScape is no exception. The appearance of many gold farming players initially was not too much of a problem. But over time, many players are getting annoyed with the actions of the gold farming players. For example, when you get a dragon slayer cake but you can't, because these gold farming players have killed all the dragons. The players started asking these gold army players about who are they. Most answered, if they are Venezuelans. Another oddity appeared on March 7, 2019. Suddenly all these gold farming players disappeared. This shocked all the Old School RuneScape players, because almost half the active players there disappeared. A few days later they found out what caused it. It turned out that in Venezuela there was a total power outage. Not only that, the communication of the residents there was also cut off, and lasts for several weeks. So all players from Venezuela can't play Old School RuneScape. The impact turned out to also make the economy in the game a mess. This is what's interesting about RuneScape games. This game has its own economy. So there is a place to buy and sell. Players can bid on the items they want, and their prices are based on supply and demand. When these Venezuelan players disappeared, the economy in this game went into chaos, because there was no more supply. As a result, prices immediately rose sharply. You could say at that time in Old School RuneScape, inflation occurred. A few weeks later the Venezuelan players are back online, and the economy in this game is gradually recovering. This incident made the players another Old School RuneScape have two perspectives. On the one hand, they are sympathetic to the conditions experienced by the Venezuelan people, and understand his farming activities. But on the other hand, there are also many disappointed players for the actions of the Venezuelan players. They feel Old School RuneScape better without the Venezuelan players, because they do not play but only exploit the game. Not only that, they also feel that the players, Venezuelan, does not have a positive impact on old RuneScape, because they are only looking for money without interact with other players. This is what drives annoyed players to focus on attacking every Venezuelan player they meet. Maybe there are people who are curious about why people Venezuela playing old school games, RuneScape, to survive. The main reason is because of the super high inflation in the country. As an illustration, a bottle of milk that you bought this morning at a normal price, then the price doubled in the evening. This is what makes Venezuelan currency worthless. Residents there then switch to the currency that another is the United States dollar. So with gold farming in this game, Venezuelans in a day can make $80, and in a month they can earn more than the doctor's salary there. Another reason is Old School RuneScape is an old game, so the computer specifications are not so sophisticated. This game can be played even on computer, old model though. Hey, this is what makes Venezuelans can play this game from a computer that they have at home. Interestingly, this game is not only played by young people, because the money earned is enough promising. Even this game is also played by various age groups, from their parents to their grandparents. Rumor has it that around 1.8 million people, Venezuela, play this game for money. There is one story how old-school RuneScape changed the lives of Venezuelans. One of them is Martinez. He is a former accountant. He quit his job when Venezuela was experiencing very high inflation. As an illustration, the value of the salary could be smaller, of $4 a month. This condition then make Martinez stop and start play old-school RuneScape like its neighbors. This game then changed his life. Of $4 a month, at that time Martinez was earning $450 a month. The money was then used by Martinez to escape Venezuela and move to Peru. He kept playing and managed to save up to $1,000 used to get his mother and girlfriend out of Venezuela. Martinez can't stop yet, he still has to raise money for take out little sister and his nephew from Venezuela, even though many Venezuelans play old-school RuneScape. But this does not make the game company happy. From the start they forbade the purchase of in-game items with real currency in the real world. They will block player account if indicated fraud. This is the risk of every Venezuelan who plays in old-school RuneScape. They usually have many accounts, ranging from personal accounts, where they play right, and farming accounts used to collect money, until they finally managed to collect money enough to run away from his country. It turned out to be true. The economic crisis will make people creative to survive, even from things that have never been thought of before. Please leave a comment. What lessons can you learn from information? What's in this video? If there is information that is not correct, I apologize. Please convey it in the comments column. See you in the next video. Thank you.